Sometimes when I go to make these, my mind is like, oh, it's got to be a certain length of time long. It's got to be, or it's not substantial, or what about this, what about that? And then I have to remind myself, like, who cares? These don't have to be any length. These aren't standardized in any way. This is just whatever I make out of them. And that's it. Whatever I talk about. But there's always, just keep going. Keep making them. If it feels like they're stealing away the day or they're too much, then do something else with it. Don't talk for as long. Only get the essentials out and think about the other things until the next day, or just the part of me that's like, oh, but then you'll have to draw something. It's like, well, then make it something small. Drawing and all that, it shouldn't feel daunting, I think. If it feels daunting, then revise your approach. What is it about it that's making it daunting? Okay, maybe you're holding yourself to too high a standard with the things. You've gone long enough that it feels like you have to do that every time. Like, no, this literally, just draw a box, just draw a square, and that can be your thumbnail, and that's it. But today, I did all manner of applications. I looked all over and I did all manner of applications, and then I just came to the realization that the best thing for me to do is to, instead of being someone who applies to things and looks for businesses to accept them into their ranks and their folds to make money, I should be someone who shows that I'm a person who it's a psychological difference. So in one scenario, you're someone who needs someone to hire them before they can do anything. But in this scenario, I do my own work, my own stuff, my own thing. And if you need a job, and other people want to come to me to hire me, that kind of thing, or commission me after seeing, but I'm still sufficient. In other words, the business part is on my end. I'm not looking for a business to take me in. Business part is on my end. Attract people to come and see it. So I've decided I'm going to make an ad for myself. I'm going to make an ad. Put my graphic design skills to use. I've done it plenty of other times. I even made commission sheets, but that got nothing. So I'm going to make an ad for myself, as I just said. I'm putting it together right now, putting together the things I can do, examples, and I'm graphic designing it. I'm getting the basic information, going to pick out something for the background, and I'm going to make an ad. See, the way I do it is I have no one else really to talk to, so I go around looking at what other people are doing, and I kind of assimilate these different parts. Like, okay, that person has been successful at this, and then I look at which one's kind of the best approach that kind of like fits what I'm doing, and then I find that, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting. And at first it feels daunting, like, oh, this is so overwhelming, what do I do? And then I give it like a few minutes, and then suddenly give it like a 30 minutes to process, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, actually this is pretty easy. I just have to get over the hump of initializing, of starting it. So I'm doing that. I'm working on making myself business-like, making myself a business, if that makes sense. If I won't stop applying to remote jobs and things like that, but if I can, that alternative is just making my own way. And I'm going to try it. I really am. I'm going to try it. I'm going to go for it. There was Oh, yeah. Something else I did today. That group I was talking about, that group that I recently joined into, I tried something today, and I think overall it had a positive effect, which is I personally believe that you can truly a true test of friendship is friendship in silence. What happens when the two of you, or however many there are, don't have any more things to talk about? When you have nothing left to say, and it's my belief that there's a certain level of friendship when you can just be in the same room as somebody else and not talk at all. Not because it's compelled or it's forced, but because literally there's just nothing left to say, and there's nothing left to force, no more jokes to make, no more. And I believe it's psychologically harmful that the moment that there's nothing left to say, that people will just leave. And I've spent so long saying, like, is there anything else to talk about? No. All right, see ya. And then, exit. That's it. And it's like, what? Is that really healthy? I don't think that's healthy. I really don't. For me, it's like, I think you get to that level of friends where you two can just exist in the same room as each other and not feel compelled to do anything outgoing or social, or you don't feel awkward. You can just like exist, but at the same time it's not the same as like feeling or being like, because I know exactly what that's like, to be in a room full of people and feel like you're still alone. But there's something different about being with a friend in a room. It's comforting. It's like there's another pair of eyes. You can relax, more. You can relax, and there's something. It's like having a warm blanket around, or a cup of coffee. I've never drank coffee, but that idea of having that sort of comforting presence in the room, or having like a pet sleeping nearby. Something about that just reassures you, or makes you feel calm. There's a weight to it. Their presence has a certain weight to it while they're in the room with you. And for me, I think that is important. And I'll say it again, why should it be that, like, the moment you have nothing left funny to say to each other, or it creates this feeling that we only hang out if one of us is being interesting, or if one of us has something to say, something funny to make, something to watch. It's like, why is it that, it creates that sort of thing. It's like, and I realize it creates this anxiety of like fearing not being interesting anymore, or running out of steam with a conversation, or not have anything to say anymore. It creates this anxiety, or things going silent, and then the other person suddenly making a sound, and that fear of like, they're leaving, they're going, I'm gonna be alone. Oh no, it creates like this pressure and ticking clock. But for me, it's like, that feels harmful. Anyway, so today I put it into practice, and there was someone there, and I joined their thing, and they played video games, and they had their moment of being interesting, in quotes, interesting, that moment where they're performing, when they're doing something, and then I decided to pop in, and then afterwards, I realized, like, no, I don't think I should leave. I'll just stay. I'm gonna stay even if we have nothing to talk about, because we don't need to have anything to talk about. And I'm gonna practice that. I'm gonna do it. And so, like, the person, they just got on their thing, and I was like, oh, what you doing? And they were like, oh, I'm working on that thing. And I was like, oh, do you want to share it with the screen? And they're like, nah, it's just gonna be me. And I was like, okay. And then from there, it was that no talking whatsoever. It was just silence, We didn't say a thing for hours until the person was finally like, hey, I gotta go get something to eat now, And they said it was nice hanging out. And I'll see you later. Maybe we can do it again later, or we'll hang out again. Like, we'll do this. It's something to repeat, something to do again. And I could tell that there was a certain warmth to the idea. Like, I was just doing my thing, the other person was just doing their thing. I set up a YouTube thing with some music, and I was like, oh, hey, I put up a thing with a shared activity if you want to listen to music. And then they were like, oh yeah, sure. And then they hopped in and they were listening to music, and to the music that I put in that playlist, and that was it. No talking whatsoever, just for hours and hours and hours. They were doing their thing, I was doing my thing. Both of us were in this call, not going anywhere, not doing anything, like, with each other or interacting in any way. And that was it. That was the whole thing. But there was a certain warmth to it. I could tell there was a certain appreciation of just existing around another person who's not going to leave because you don't have anything to say or any jokes to make or anything to be interesting, in quotes, be interesting. It's like, well, I think it's enough that we're both just here. It's not about ignoring each other. It's about, what do we do when we have nothing left to try and get the other person's attention? Well, we'll just be here. I thought it was nice anyway. And the other person indicated a positive attitude to it. And, see you the next time I see you, that kind of thing. Which, that was nice. It felt good. So, yeah. I'm going to end this journal here. I'm going to edit it. Well, I don't edit it. I just put it in a folder, put the audio in, draw up a quick thumbnail, upload it, and then that's it. And then I move on. So, yeah, I'm gonna go do that now and keep doing stuff. Alright. Bye.